Hi there, this is just a quick video as a breakdown of my 2022 projects. I'm going to do another video which is my digital artwork, but this is my sculpture and kind of more physical projects. It's a real mixture of things here. So just doing a quick roll over a few of these projects and then we'll break them down one by one. So first up, we've got this nice little mouse riding a hedgehog. This joins the rest of my D&D mouse crew, made out of polymer clay, so super sculpy and cos clay, painted with acrylic paints. This is part of a new series I'm doing called Left Behind, and this is basically a bunch of kind of pop culture icon vehicles that have been left behind by their users. In this case, obviously, it's a couple of crashed TIE fighters that have been repurposed. This is the conductor for the slip train. You can just see the slip train down the bottom there. I'll show that in a couple of minutes. But this is the conductor, kind of a sci-fi robot conductor of the train. This was a fun little project that we did by the seaside at Kabowie in South Australia. It's a Funko Pop that was modded into this new character. The theme for the one-day project was sci-fi fashion. This is the original Sculpey version of my Schrodinger's cat. You see a couple more examples coming up. Here comes the first resin cast that I did. It's got a bearing in it that means that you can spin the head around and either end up as the live cat or the dead cat. You never know which one it is until the head stops spinning. And next up, we've got the third mimic chest that I've made over the last few years. This is another dice box. It's polymer clay and epoxy sculpt, and you can see holds a substantial amount of dice. I actually made the base of the chest go into the that kind of picture frame base so that it looked like it was kind of dissolving the dice as it went. Next up, this is a line of toys that I'm going to be producing, a Cthulhu sushi, and this was the original on the left and the first cast on the right. You'll see more of them. This was a fun little project as part of the Bill Making Stuff Patreon group to make some kind of weird alien bug. I did the image in Procreate and then chopped it up and added it. And this was a quick little one-day project. I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk, and as a big fan of Cyberpunk from way back in the 80s, I put together this media player. The screen that's on there is actually an old phone, and it does actually play Spotify pretty well, but the phone wasn't charged up, so I've just left it off. This is the slip train that I was talking about before. I'm going to do this as a graphic novel with photographs of miniatures. The little carriages here are actually some classic Adelaide tram carriages. So found some souvenirs and I modded them up. This is the next Left Behind piece. This is obviously the poor old DeLorean. Someone set the time for a long way back and then managed to crash the car. It's not going to be going fast enough to go forward in time again. We'll just not worry about what's happened to Marty. He's out there somewhere. I'm sure he's fine. And this is a slightly more extravagant version of Schrodinger's cat. This is an automaton, so you can actually turn the little dial down the bottom and it spins the head of the cat. So I don't know, it depends on how you feel on the day, whether you're feeling dead or alive. So once again, classic kind of Schrodinger's cat question. This is another Patreon challenge on Bill making stuff. This is using his universe and thinking about these little guys called the Rusters. And I mean, it's a kit bashed tank, but the little Rusters themselves are actually all just made out of tin foil. So really, really easy to make tiny little characters. And finally, this is another one of Bill's challenges, and that was to take some dodgy toy dinosaurs and try and turn them into something less dodgy. And I think I succeeded pretty well. It's a nasty looking alien creature now. I have to say that material that the dinosaur was made of was awful. This is a retro spaceship. I've been playing with this design for a while now. This is a sculptural version of it. Hopefully you can kind of see a bit of Gallagher and Space Invaders and Defender, and even the last Starfighter in there somewhere. It's actually made out of wooden blocks and then painted with acrylic paint. This was another challenge by the seaside. So this was Marina and a friend and I putting together a mod of a Barbie. In this case, it was a cyberpunk one, obviously, and came together pretty well. This is a weird thing because this is off at an exhibition at the moment, so I've just popped my Krampus in here as a piece of AR so you can kind of see what it looks like. And same here for the Chomp Thulu, who is once again still in a exhibition at the moment, so wasn't close at hand, but I wanted to add them anyway. This is one of my favorite pieces for the year, so I'm glad I can kind of do an AR version at least. These are some pins that I made this year. The first time I've ever made pins. Really happy with it. Was a Cheshire Cat, and this is a little sculptural character once again for an exhibition. Notzilla. This is a great exhibition run by the folks over at This Is Not a Toy Store and This Is Not a Toy Scene. I've been lucky enough to exhibit a few times with them this year, and I've really enjoyed it every time. This was once again for one of their exhibitions, and this is the Kraken construction kit. So in this case, this is a whole bunch of different little pieces. So the idea is that you can kind of build the Kraken that you want to build. So you can place the tentacles wherever you want to. This is polymer clay. Once again, this one's cos clay, so it's actually got some flexibility to it. This is a time scope that I made for a film that'll be released next year. So can't say too much about it, but it's a time scope. This year I was lucky enough to also take part in the Battle Cat project, which was taking some He-Man or a Battle Cat and modifying it. So this is Battle Cat Thulu and Cthulhu He-Man, obviously riding him. Super fun project. Resin casts and polymer clay and epoxy sculpt. Really, really fun project to be involved in. And this was a gift for one of the organisers. Once again, had a lot of fun with This Is Not a Toy Store and This Is Not a Toy Scene this year. So want to give them a really big shout out for the chance to play in some of the exhibitions that they've had. And finally, we've got the fabulous bin chicken from Jesse Irwin. I had the chance to modify the bin and the ibis and turned it into a post-apocalyptic crazy bin chicken vehicle. And once again, that was loads of fun. So that's it for this year. I'll catch you next year. Thanks. Bye.